the next thing that we're going to do is to create a really simple view, which we're going to use the one that already exists, which is the hello.php, but we're going to get rid of a bunch of stuff here. We're going to get rid of all the styling for now, and we'll get rid of the divs that are here. So this way, we can just have a very, very simple, basic HTML file to play with, not confused by the styling. Now, what we're going to do for the very first is return some parameters to our view. Because though we're returning the view, which you can do by going to here and refreshing, you'll see now that the page is blank. We're not sending anything, but in our routes file, you'll see that we are returning just the view. Now, let's say we want to pass something through to it, such as a parameter or a variable, something that we can use in the HTML file. Let's start by doing it a couple of different ways. The first, or the simplest way, is to just add a comma to add an argument here, and the parameter, as you're passing it through, will be passed as an array. So let's create an array. And then inside of this array, the first argument will be the name of the parameter itself. So we can just say name, and then the identifier to the actual value, and we'll say friend. Okay? So now you can see that we've just added one simple thing, and then we're going to go to our hello.php file and access this variable that's coming through as an argument. So we'll add some PHP here and just say var dump and then name. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we're getting the string friend, length of 6. So that is exactly what we were looking for. Great. So now we are very simply passing over an argument from our route into our view. Very simple process, very easy to do. Let's create an h1 tag, add some PHP to the inside of this, and we will say hello. We'll echo hello. And then our variable, which in our case is going to be name. So let's save on that. So I've just added an h1 with an echo hello and then $name. Name has been assigned manually inside of our routes file, which we've done earlier. Let's see what that looks like now. And here we have hello, comma, friend. Okay, so that's great. We can hard code in some information to pass as a parameter. We can actually send it a couple of different ways. In our routes file, we can use hello like this. Here are a few other ways we can do this. One of them is to remove the array altogether and then use just the object operator symbol and then typing in the method with and then pass through two parameters. The first will be the actual title of the variable, which is name, and then a comma and the actual value, which is friend. All right, so what I'm going to do is comment out this line, save it, refresh, and we get the same value. So we're still passing it through, just looks a little bit cleaner. There's also a shorthand of this, which Laravel gives to you, where you can get rid of name altogether here and just say with name and then friend. So we'll comment out this line, save it, see if we get the same. We do, same thing. So all three of these are valid. It depends on what's more readable for you. I prefer the second one, but we can use whatever you like throughout the project. It's up to you. So now that that information is there, we found out a way to access it. Now, how can we do this through a route? That is one of the things it's very important, something that we're going to need to do. Let's say, for instance, we want to go to /hello and then /name, whatever that might be. So we'll do Hampton. Okay, we're going to get an error here, which here's our debug that shows the full stack trace. It's saying that it's not finding the route for this. It's true because we haven't created it. So let's create that route now. So go to our routes file. I'm going to clean this up here. And then we're going to create ourselves a new route based off of this one. And then here we're going to say hello. And then we need a way to take in some kind of a route argument, something that we can pull into our closure function and then pass that through to our view. So the way we're going to do that is with the following notation. Okay, so and then we simply pass through $name and to our closure function. And then down below, we'll be able to return the actual name itself through to the view. Okay, so there it's passing through Hello Hampton. Now, one of the things we need to be aware of is what happens if you don't pass an argument through and you just send hello. What you'll see is that the route was not found for just hello. So we can either go through here and create a whole nother route for hello, or we can just say that this is optional. So name is an optional parameter. The way we're going to do that is putting a question mark after it and then hitting refresh and see what it does. Okay, so now we're seeing we're missing argument 1 for our closure, which is saying that we don't have name. So in a function, if we want to set a default, we do it here. So we'll say equals and then world. All right, so now when it comes through, if it doesn't find the name, it's just going to continue passing on the function or passing on to the closure function, going into the return and returning whatever the name variable is. So let's refresh, see what we get, and it's hello world. So here we can say hello for hello world, or we can say Hampton. Then it gives the name there. Try a few others. Okay, so now we're able to look at a route. We're able to pass through an argument and use it as a variable or a parameter in the URL itself. The last and final thing that we want to do is to return back to a view and pass through more than just a single argument. Let's say we want to pass through an array of arguments, which is a very valid need. Let's do that using the same methods we've done before. We'll do it on the root URL. So let's go to view make hello here, and we're going to pass through an array. Now, how we're going to do that is we need to create our array first. We'll call it data. And then we will use some shorthand for an array and just give it some values. Let's say name, Jane, email, Jane@doe.com, and then make sure we close our statement. And now we have our data array. Now, instead of passing through with name, we'll just pass through just the data. Okay, in our view, we're going to need to find something to do with this. So we're going to eliminate this name right here, and I am just going to var dump, and our expression will be what we're looking for. So remember, in our routes file, we've passed through name and email through the data. So we don't have to actually say data anywhere in here. We'll just simply say name and email and see if that returns what we want. Go to our root URL. And there we go. We got string Jane and string Jane@doe.com.